everyone, and welcome to The Business Takeaway, a videocast series where we interview professionals in the advertising, marketing, and public relations industry. I'm the CEO, founder, and your host for today, Aditi Gunda. With me today, I have Lyn Wineman, who is the president and chief strategist of Kidglov. It's great to be talking with you, Lyn.
Hey, Aditi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. I'd like to start off by first asking you, what got you interested in the field of advertising, marketing, and/or public relations?
Sure, absolutely. Aditi, when I was in high school, I loved all of the creative pursuits, theater, art, creative writing. But I didn't really feel like I had any of those to the point where I could be a professional writer or professional actress. And so someone introduced me to the idea of advertising as a field where you can combine creativity and business. And it just stuck. Once I decided that's what I wanted, I've been in the field ever since.
That's awesome. That's exactly the answer I give to everyone too. So it's great to hear that from someone else. Could you maybe describe your academic background, where you went to college, bachelor's degree, and master's degree, if applicable?
Yeah, both of my parents went to the University of Nebraska, so it was just a foregone conclusion that I also would go to the University of Nebraska. So my degree is in advertising through the College of Journalism and Mass Communications, which is a great school. At the time, they had you pair 3 minors with your major. So I minored in economics, which I thought was fascinating, the study of money, and marketing, which is the strategy behind advertising. And then, of course, art, which was like for fun. Even though I wasn't the world's best artist, I loved the fact that I learned about art. So today, as I work with designers and art directors, I can understand their perspective.
I love that. Since you're the founder of Kidglov, could you maybe tell me what motivated you to start your company, and also just a little bit more about your company?
Yeah. So Kidglov is a full service boutique advertising agency. We have just about 25 people right now, split between Lincoln and Omaha. And our purpose as an advertising agency is to put the megaphone in front of those who are doing good in the world. So we work primarily for nonprofits, social impact movements, healthcare organizations, and purpose-driven businesses. So it's really unique work. It's different than your traditional product or service advertising, and it's really fulfilling work, right? During the pandemic, when things were kind of scary and we were all working from home, and we hit a point where we were just extremely busy and everybody was just working all the time. And we all said, it's worth it, because we know every day we are getting up and we're helping, kids and families and seniors, and that makes the work all worthwhile. So I got an internship while I was at the J School, which I would highly recommend for everybody there. With a great agency in town, based in Lincoln. I was with that agency for 20 years. It was a super experience. I got to work on local, regional, and national accounts. But at some point, I just got the entrepreneurial itch, right? And wanted to do my own thing. And I also have had some very specific ideas on agency culture. And so at Kidglov, we are all about taking care of people. First and foremost, we take care of our own people. And then when our people are happy, they produce great work, and we take great care of our clients. And when our clients are happy, that makes our people happy, and it all goes round and round.
Awesome. I was actually going to ask you about what your career path has been since college, and you said that you worked somewhere for 20 years. Could you maybe describe that and just like more?
Yeah, sure. So my internship was with a firm called Swanson Russell, which has offices in Lincoln and Omaha. Really great firm for those of you out there looking for jobs. I think they're always hiring because they're a big agency. So really great experience. I learned a ton. I worked almost the whole time I was there for Dave Hansen, who was one of the owners of the agency, and learned quite a lot from Dave on how to run a business, how to treat employees, and so forth. So it was a great great experience that helped give me a kickstart here at Kidglov.
Awesome. This question is a little, it's okay if you don't want to answer it, but who do you believe are your biggest competitors and how do you differentiate yourself from them?
It is interesting because I do think, and I've said this for years, that because the College of Journalism is so strong in advertising, I think that Nebraska and Lincoln and Omaha in particular probably have more really great advertising agencies than people realize, especially those who are outside of the state. And so when I started, we were first just in Lincoln, and I am really well known in Lincoln, and I hired people that are really well known in Lincoln, and we did really well right off the bat. And then we moved into Omaha, and my personal connections are a little bit less in Omaha than they are here. And then for a short time, we were in the Colorado market where nobody knew me or who I was. And so one thing we realized was that in order to compete outside of Lincoln, we really need to define our niche and decide what we were best in the world at. And that's the point where we said, hey, our focus is going to be on this nonprofit, social impact, healthcare, and purpose-driven business marketing. And so that has really set us apart. So while we do have competitors in this market, I think that we've carved out a specific niche, and now we're moving outside of our Nebraska markets, and so starting to compete with some other firms in the same area as well. As a matter of fact, even lately, we've been able to partner with a national firm, Neiman Collaborative, out of Washington, D.C., that also specializes in social impact marketing. And so it's kind of been a really great collaboration for us on a national scale.
Yeah, I bet. That's great. So my next question is more about how early in career professionals can make themselves stand out amongst other people applying to jobs in this industry. So the question is, what soft and hard skills do you personally look for in an exceptional candidate?
Yeah, so we need really, there's two things that are at the top of our list. One is you have to really love your discipline. So in an advertising agency, even a small advertising agency, we need art directors and graphic designers who really love that discipline, writers who really love that discipline, strategists who really love that discipline, and who can prove that they're good at it. So, making sure that you've got a portfolio, that you've got some experience that you can share. And then from a soft skill standpoint, we really, because we're Kidglov, look for people with a positive outlook. Everyone on our staff tends to really have that positive vibe. And then the other thing we look for is, we call it the fire in the belly, right? So, which is just a strong sense of accountability and urgency to figure out things and make them happen.
Awesome. What would you encourage early in career professionals to do to land their dream job in this industry? I know you said portfolios. If you have anything else, please let us know.
Yeah, I think portfolios, you got to be able to prove yourself. So if you want to be in a field where you're going to help your clients stand out from the competition, you need to make sure that you stand out from the competition in a relevant and compelling way. So figuring out what you're going to do with your resume and your cover letter to make yourself stand out, figuring out what you're going to do in that interview to make yourself stand out, I think are really important things. I always look for somebody who's done a little bit of research, so they know something about Kidglov before they come in and can really speak to how they're going to fit into our culture and what we do as well. And then I just think an internship and if you have the chance, I love that the J School, the College of Journalism at the University of Nebraska, has the student-run advertising agencies. I love that they have that experience as well. We love to hire kids that have come through that program.
Right. I'm actually in Bowie right now and planning to go into yacht soon, hopefully. So that's really exciting to hear. What did college not prepare you for when you entered the field?
I think one of the big differences when I was in college, we didn't have the student-run agencies. And so there's a big leap from that theoretical work that you do in class and on your assignments to actual work when people are investing in the marketing and advertising. So when you're working with a business owner or leader who is trying to decide, do I put this money in advertising or do I get another salesperson? Or you're working with an executive director of a nonprofit who, is trying to figure out how they're going to fund a new position or a new program or even a social impact movement that has to prove results in order to keep their grant funding. Those are real things. And so I think the fact that, if you can get into buoy or yacht or get an internship, so you've got a little bit of that real experience under your belt, I think that really helps. One of my pet peeves is to hear people who are new in the industry present an idea to a client and use the words, hey, isn't this a fun idea? Because while fun might be a valuable thing, it might be attention getting, at the end of the day, your business owner, your executive director, your social impact leader, they don't need fun, they need results. Advertising is an investment. And so you need to be talking about how you're going to give them a return on their investment.
Right, I totally agree with that because we learned such great things in class, but actually being in buoy and implementing those marketing and advertising strategies really helps let me understand, wow, this is what I would be needing to do later on in the future. So I really love that answer. What current issues or trends in the field should people know about or be aware of?
We are really talking a lot right now about purpose-driven marketing and about aligning social issues in marketing. I think for a long time, many advertisers just sat on the sidelines to kind of stay out of the fray and not create controversy. And more data is showing us that consumers want to align themselves with brands that are making a difference in the world. And I think even stronger with the need for workforce development and employee hiring and retention. Employees want to align themselves with companies that are doing good in the world. So figuring out, what issues you can align with and figuring out how to message that, I think is one of the new things we're all trying to figure out. I think right now, silence speaks louder than words, right? And so a lot of organizations that choose to stay silent are not getting the results from that they once did.
You. Lastly, is there anything you would like to add on about your journey in this field or just advice for people in this field?
Yeah, I always just like to encourage young people with a creative interest. I think that sometimes people don't realize what a great profession advertising can be. And that it's within reach right here in this market if you want to stay. But I'm going to say the University of Nebraska has a great program. I have to give that shout out to the College of Journalism and Mass Communication. There are other schools in the state that also have great programs, but I would say anybody who has an interest in this field, you should go for it because you can make a really nice career out of it.
Awesome. Well, then that concludes the interview. Thank you so much for your time, Lyn. It was truly a pleasure talking to you.
My pleasure, Aditi. Thank you for asking me.
Of course. Once again, I'm Aditi Gunda, and this was Lyn Wineman on The Business Takeaway. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to be up to date with our videos. And please feel free to reach out about anything.